Hi all, today we will talk about policy simulator in Google Cloud. So basically it is used for allow policies in the IAM, and with the help of this policy simulator we can see if we change an allow policy how it will impact our principal access before we commit our changes. So suppose you have a user and you want to change this policy, or if you want to allow or deny some specific rules. So with the help of policy simulator you can check about like how it will access will be affected, and we can use policy simulator to ensure that changes we are making won't cause a principal to lose access that they need. And it uses access logs to focus on the permission changes that will affect for our users. So suppose it will take about 90 days access logs and check whether the if we are updating any permission or changing anything, how it will affect our users. Policy simulator determines like which access attempts from the last 90 days have different results under the proposed allow policy and the current allow policy, and then it reports these results as a list of access changes. So suppose you have a user and you are changing his like access, so it will take last 90 days access logs and will compare with the proposed allow policy and the current allow policy. It will give us a list like before it is have this access, and with the current policy it will have this access. And if you want to proceed we can just click in OK if we are okay with the results. So it doesn't compare the permissions, just it also just compare the access logs, and it will all show all the results. And how it works, so basically it retrieves access logs for the supported resource types from the last 90 days, and where these logs are collected depends on the resource where allow policy you are simulating, like if you are doing on that organization level, folder level or at the resource level. And after that it evaluates or replaces the access attempts recorded in the access logs using the current allow policy and taken into any inherited allow policies and allow policy sets on descendant resource. So if you have any inherited allow policy, it will take that also in the consideration. And if you have allow policy set on a descendants resource, that will also be checked and replace our then it replace that access attempts against the proposed allow policy. So if you are giving him an extra role or removing any extra role, so it will replay the access attempts from the last 90 days with the proposed allow policy and check whether it can access in the new policy or not. Get the results from the two replace and report the differences, and which show how the proposed changes will affect the principal access. So both like from the both replace like the current allow policy and the proposed allow policies, it will compare. And these are the results it can give you, like access revoked if suppose the principal had access under the current allow policy, but it will no longer have the access once the proposed allow policy will be in under like will be in charge. And like this access potentially revoked, so this can happen if the principal has access under the current allow policy but their access under the proposed allow policy is unknown. It cannot figure it out whether same access will be there or not. And it can be like the principal has access under the current allow policy is unknown. It doesn't know whether the principal has access or not, but they will not have access after the policy proposed change, but it is confirmed that they will not have access once the we have used the proposed change which we are want to use. And access gain basically means that principal doesn't have access before, now it has access. Access potentially gained, again same thing like revoked and now gained. The principal doesn't have access under the current allow policy, but their access after the proposed change is unknown. Still it doesn't know whether the access will be provided or not. It is like potentially gained. And the principal has access under the current allow policy unknown, but they will have access after the proposed change. Access unknown means that principal access under the both current and proposed policy unknown, and the proposed change might affect the principal access. So these are some access changes which will be come when you run the policy simulator. And error means any error occurred during the simulation. So if there is an error occurred, it will show why it occurred, and you can figure it out to make it resolve. As of now, cloud storage, PubSub, Cloud SQL, Spanner, Resource Manager, and Compute Engine are supported. But inside that also, not all the functions are supported. Like in Compute Engine, only instances are supported. In cloud storage, you can check out which it supports. So let's go to console and see. So for the supported resource types, For the cloud storage, only bucket are supported for PubSub, snapshot, subscription, topics for SQL, spanner, resource manager like folder organization and projects. And for the compute engine, all the instances are supported. Rest it will not support as of now while recording this video. So let's go to IAM. And to run this, first of all, we have to select a user on which you want to remove or add permission. So let me select my this user, test user, sorry, my admin user. I will click on this button, and after that I will remove this permission, like storage, like I will remove owner permission. Once I remove the owner permission, it will this like specific menu will come for us. Summary of changes, removed owner, and roles edit not available, and we can test the changes by clicking on this test changes. So once we click on test changes, it will create a report and it will show all the things which it will going to affect us. So we can see it is running up all that changes. My report has been successfully done. So if I click on policy difference, we can click on this. It will show like what policy are being changed. So as of now, we can say this user has admin owner role. Now in the new policy, it doesn't have this specific role. After that, we can click on permission changes. It will show like which permissions are being removed or added. So as of now, it is removing about 8,600 permissions. So let's click on view permission difference. So it will show this all the permission which are going to be deleted as of now from this specific role. So we can see like there are about 2,600 permission which are being removed. But some permissions are will be still there, like for resource manager and all that, which are not being removed because I have somehow this role available without with some another permissions. Suppose because I have storage admin role also, so these permissions are will be still there for me because of that specific role. But rest all permissions are being to be removed. After that, we can see like simulation. It has run for me, so it will show all the things which has been I've used in the last 90 days. It will show all the permissions for the access change over the 90 days. So it will show telling me like there's 199 permissions for which our access has been revoked. 800 is access unknown or error, and for 397 access is unchanged. It is still there. So if I click on the like storage one and it says the access is revoked, the proposed policy revoked the access. For storage inside, I cannot use anymore this. And if I go to compute engine, that I for this also access has been revoked for me. And if I come like this is not allowed with the change, with change previously allowed, not allowed with change previously allowed. For this error unknown, like previously unknown, what I'm talking about there, it can show us like previously unknown option or error. If I click on this, and it will say like information is unknown. It can be because of some issues also that it is not able to identify the permission. And if we come down, we can see like all the permissions. So basically it is telling like between April 19 to June 29, there were 418 attempts to access the resources or its child resources. So if I made these changes 90 days ago, the attempts to access these resources would have the following results. So it is showing like what will happen if I make the same changes about like 90 days ago. So if I had done that, so these are the results which will, so if I run the changes, these are the results which will be happen 90 days before. You can see, and the simulation has encountered like 821 permission for unsupported resource type, which I am talking about. So it is only support limited resources. So we can click on details to see all these like access approval. It all these it doesn't support. So it will doesn't come like include this inside the results. So it will only include most of that compute add compute only VM1. So we can do this to check all that. And if you okay with this, you can just click on apply propose changes and click on apply. It will apply these specific permissions. Also, if you want to suppose let's leave this, and if you want to add some new let's go to my test user and let me add one more role. So like suppose I want to give him any specific role and you want to check him like what permission he will get with this role. So you can provide this role and click on test changes. So it will create a report and all that. For this one, it will there is no permission is being removed, but only permission are added. So we can click on view permission difference, and it will show all the permission which are being added. So as of now I have the viewer role, so that permission I already have, so it will not add that permission. Only the green one it is adding, like compute address, create, set tables and all that, it is being added for me. Rest permissions I already have, so it is not show, it is not put as the green one, because I have viewer also or list get permission I already have. So let's go down and see access change. So 54 blocked access we have gained, which are previously blocked for us. 800 access are unknown and 542 are access unchanged. So basically this previously I don't have this allowed with change. Previously I don't have. So access grant the policy proposed, the proposed policy grant the access. This for the creation of VM, and these are like previously unknown. This is because that our this policy simulator cannot run that, basically the simulation. So if you get this error, basically they told that a replay of single access attempt was unsuccessful, so policy simulator could not determine the result of access attempt would could change and that the proposed allowed policy. Because of that it cannot determine what will the access, so it will give us as unknown only. So for the most of these, but where it is having that permission or it is able to run successfully, it will show like what will be the changes to us. So, so if I want to apply these proposed changes, I can just click on this apply proposed changes, and it will implement that all the policy changes. Just click on updating policy, it will update the policy. And now my role like user has a specific role. If you want to remove, just come over again and you just remove this and run again that test changes. It will show again the same things, that it is now being removed and previously it has the results that permissions. So like again it is permission being are be removed, view permission difference, it will show all the permissions which we have previously added. But still I have list permission because I have viewer role, but these permission are being deleted as of now, because if I apply the proposed changes and it will run that access change over the last 90 days to check it out how like I have the access. So we have seen just we have the create policy about 2 minutes ago, it is showing that I have, but now with this access revoked, the proposed policy will revoke our access. Before we have to have the access to create the instance and all that, now it is showing revoked. So we can click on again this apply all that, and you can check for most of the things, but it doesn't show that much better that I think. But if you want to, you can just come here and there are some like errors, operational errors. If you come, the simulation cannot run because of some issue, you can check out this replay errors. Most of the time this comes, but if doesn't support like not able to determine the result, it will give this error. And after that unsupported resource type, which we have seen, the source type which doesn't support. And after that there are some more unknown results. So if you go out any unknown result, so this can be the issue. And for this you need this permission cloud asset viewer simulation admin simulation reviewer to run this policy simulator. You can try this and let me know if any more thing you will figure it out on this. And if you have any issues, just comment it down. I will try to help you. Thank you.